Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So basically now today we are going to see that how you can calculate the sample size n. Till then for now what we are seeing that basically how we can calculate p dash, how we can calculate q dash, and basically how to calculate the EBP, that is error bound for the proportions, all this confidence interval, all those things you were seeing till now. That what if we are not given the sample size only, so if it is not given the sample size, will we not able to proceed in the question, because this is the very first step that we need to apply the sample size. And if we are not given that thing, then how to solve out that thing, how to solve the question, what formula to apply, what not to apply, and all that things, right? So now we are just gonna say that thing. So let me just quickly put on the heading here, and that is basically calculating the sample size n. Calculating the sample size n. Okay, this is the topic for today that we are gonna discuss right now. Fine. So basically we have several formulas for finding out the sample size, that is n. Okay, let me just quickly list that formulas, and after that we are gonna see one example also. So let me just write down here that error bound formula for a population proportion, proportion. In the short form, basically I have just written here that formula for EBP. I'm just writing that full form as well. That is PROPORTION. Fine. So error bound formula for finding out the population proportion is basically, we had the formula previously as well. So that is basically EBP is equal to Z of alpha by 2 multiplied, and I've just put one under root sign here, and that is P dash Q dash divided by N. Right, this is the formula which we have here for finding out the EBP. Right, now from this formula only, I just want to transform this formula and I just want to make it available for finding out the n value as well. So we all know how we can just do that thing, right? So I would just mention that same thing here, that solving for n, basically solving for n gives you an equation, for the sample size, right? So I can just mention here that n is equal to z of alpha by 2 whole square, right? This is actually whole square, do not take it simple square, so it is whole square, right? Multiplication with the p dash multiplied by q dash, and which is actually divided by EBP square. And now what I need to do is that, let me quickly erase this thing here and let me write that thing in the middle of this line, and that is like this: n is equal to. So yes, this is basically the formula which we apply for finding out the value for n, that is my sample size. Okay, so that is z divide, and in the dividend it is basically alpha by 2, it is the square of the whole square. After that, multiplication with p dash q dash and divided by EBP square. So for finding out the value for n, these are all the things which I need to have in my question, then only I would be able to find out the value for n, and that is my sample size. Right, so we were having a previous formula for calculating. Oh, hold on, just let me take out the highlighter. Fine. So basically we were having a formula for finding out the error bound for the proportion, right? And that is basically EBP is equal to Z of alpha by 2 and multiplication with the under root of P dash Q dash divided by N. Right, now if it is transformed that formula, so okay, just 1 second. Okay, after the transformation, basically what answer will I be getting? I would be getting that for finding out the value for n, you need to apply this formula, and that is Z of alpha by 2 whole square at multiplication with P dash Q dash, and that is basically divided by EBP square. Right, this is the formula which you can apply for finding out the value for n. Now basically I'll be taking you towards one question as an example, and now that is a very nice example. Let me show you the question here itself. Right, this is the question that we are going to deal with. So my question says to me that suppose a mobile phone company Okay, let's say my question says to me that suppose a mobile phone company wants to determine the current percentage of customers aged 50 plus that use text messaging on their cell phone. Okay, so it wants to determine the current percentage of the customers. Now, how many customers aged 50 plus should the company survey in order to be 90% confident that the estimated proportion is within 3% points of the true population proportion of customers aged 50 plus that use text messaging on their cell phone. So this is the question that I am given here, and from after reading this question I am just able to understand, and I can say that in this question I simply need to find out the value for n, right? But now how to begin up with the procedure, how to apply that? So from this I can just say one thing which I'm just able to see from for this question. I can just add on that thing, that from problem, okay, this I'm just saying it as problem. Okay, so from problem we know that we are actually given the value for the EBP. So that I'm just given as 0.03. How I just can say that? So it is basically my 3%. Just have a look here. That here it is the company survey in order to be 90% confident that the estimated proportion is within 3 percentage points, right? 3 percentage points of the true population proportion, and that is my error bound for my proportion. Right, so from here I had just one thing to find out, that is EBP. So I had just find it out that thing. Now from this EBP I can just find one another thing. Okay, so I can just apply that z of alpha by 2, and that is z of 0.05. Now how I can just say that? Because I have the 90% confidence. So for that 90% confidence, this value actually remains the same, and that is basically 1.645 for my 90% confidence. Right. So from here I only have two things, that is my EBP and z alpha by 2. So now two things are left to find out for finding out the n, that is my sample size, and for that I need to find out the q dash and even the p dash, and even I have nothing of them to in my question. Fine. Let me come down here. Now, if you do not have any source of finding out the P dash and Q dash, then in that case, basically what we do. So, in that case, I would just write that thing here itself, that I would just write that to find Q dash, we need the P dash. This thing we all know, right? That Q dash is equal to 1 minus P dash. So for finding Q dash, we need P dash, but we even do not know about this P dash as well, right? Now, I would just write it here that since we multiply, I would just add on the some things here. Now, please make sure to look this very carefully. So since we since we multiply P dash and Q dash, since we multiply P dash and Q dash together, okay, if I just multiply both of them together, we make both equal to both equal to 0.05. Okay, if I just make both of them equal to 0.5, that is like this 0.5, because now why I am just making them equal to 0.5, because P dash multiply Q dash is equal to 0.5 multiply 0.5, and that will result me in 0.25, and this is the maximum largest possible product that we can have for the value of we can have the value for P dash and Q dash. So why I'm just adding it? Because now this results the largest possible product. Results the largest possible product. Right. So this is the why I am just taking this 0.5 and 0.5, because this actually results me the largest possible product. Right. Now let's say if I just take 0.6 and 0.4, so that will result me as if I just take some other values as well, so that will not result me the correct answer. Okay, if I just take 0.6 and 0.4, that will result me 0.24, right? And all those conditions you can just apply. So these are two maximum values which I can take, and that is resulting me the maximum P dash and Q dash value. So I'm just taking this as well. Now, what is the basically what is the motive behind taking these? So that also I'm just mentioning that I would just write that here, that largest possible product. Okay, the largest possible product gives largest n, largest n, that is my largest n value. And this largest n values, so basically what it gives, so it gives, let me just come down here. Okay, and this gives us basically large enough sample. And if we have the value for n, so that is my sample is even large, right? So, and even a large sample, what it gives me, the large sample, this gives a large sample, so that we can be 90% confident, that we are within 3% points, of true population proportion, PROPORTION, right? So I hope by the time you have got the answer that why actually I have taken the values as 0.5 and 0.5. There is a huge reason behind this behind taking these values, right? Now I would simply find out the n because I have all of the values with me. So that is z alpha by 2 whole square p dash q dash and divided by EBP square. So value for that I have 1.645 square. So let me write that. Multiplication with 0.5 and then 0.5 and then divided by 0.03 square, right? And from here basically the answer that I am gonna get is 751.7, and if I just round it off, okay, and I would just get a 752, right? So I hope I made this thing very clear to you that if you are getting some question for finding out the sample size, that is n, so how will you be doing that thing, right? So here I have just find out the sample size, and that is basically 752. I'm just trying to round it off the 751.7 value, and that is basically giving me 752, right? So this is basically how we find out the value, and this is the formula which we apply for finding out n, that is equal to z alpha by 2 whole square p dash multiplied by q dash and divided by EBP whole square, right? So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.